going on, y'all? This is Jeremy, and you listen to the Cubicle Rebellion podcast, clocking in once again. And today, I have fellow co-worker, fellow Cubicle Rebel, former music artist, Uber driver, real estate agent. I don't know, is that enough? Is that enough titles? This Renaissance man, a modern day Renaissance man. Long-time friend, hardest working man in show business.
Yeah, right.
Show your look. Anthony Ortiz.
Oh, appreciate it.
I don't know if I said enough. You got a lot of titles, man.
More
You got
than
18 jobs.
18 jobs, man. 18 jobs, man. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
18 jobs, man.
Yep, it was like on the living color.
Right.
So,
But yeah, man. Todd though, man. Todd is he just reminds me of Johnny Drama.
Yeah.
His whole
just with the extraness, just you gotta have characters like that though. I guess it in the workplace. I mean, just in life, period.
That's true. That's true. It doesn't hurt.
Just getting this mic.
Oh yeah, you good. Yeah.
So, but can it pick me up from here?
It should. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you just adjust it on the side, like you can kind of play with it, and you'll know if it's getting louder or softer in your headphones.
Cool.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, but man, you need those characters in the workplace.
Right.
It's almost like I was thinking to myself, kind of like with everything that's going on in the world now, like just with all the political issues and everybody like standing up for something and so on and so forth. And I be asking myself like I feel bad because I'd be like I should get involved with something, you know, but then it's that small part of me that's like a lot of other people who like it's not gonna change, you know, like why should I do this or do that when it comes to decide the next world leader, like it's not gonna change, you know, but you know, I guess you can't accept that though, because if everybody felt like that, life wouldn't be as dynamic.
That's
as
true.
It is.
That's true.
Society and same way with the workplace.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, I think you need both types though. I mean, and you do make a good point because like you can't have everybody just kind of being like, well, what's the point?
Right.
But at the same time, like you do need people who will sit back and kind of analyze and say, is this working though?
Right.
Like the intentions are good, but is it effective, or is this ineffective? I think a while back we had talked about, I think we were talking about protesting and whether or not if it was an effective means like for change.
Yeah.
And I think it's debatable.
The march.
Yeah.
Is my problem.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Right.
Like I'm just over it. You know, it's like every time something happens, it's like, well, let's march.
Right.
You know, we gonna march.
It's the default.
We gonna get our picket signs. But it's like I just feel like they, and when I say they, I'm just mean the opposition, whoever you marching against. Right. You know, they just sitting around like, okay, just let them march. And, you know,
it'll die down. Give it a few days.
When they get too hot and wore out.
Right. Nah, that's a good point though. I mean, because it's like, yeah, man, protesting is like, I think it gives people the feeling that they're doing something. It gives people that feeling.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's true or whether or not it's actually doing something is a whole nother conversation. But you make a good point too, because it's like you said, the powers that be are like, you know, it's like that word trending, right? So like things trend.
Right.
And before you know it, you're on to the next thing. Right. Things, it's like a stream in the water. Like, you know, this popped up. And then but that current keeps going. And then before you know, well, look at that frog. Oh, okay, well, look at that. You know, and it's like our attention spans are so short. I almost feel like like our attention spans is like the enemy of change in a way because we can't focus on nothing for long enough for things to change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can't even like sit on it long enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Like they, just I don't want to say going through the motions, but it's like. See, I would get criticized if I was like on some nationally syndicated, station, saying this, talking like this.
Yeah, right.
It's like, just understand where I'm coming from. To who's ever listening.
That's my point. I was gonna say, it's like you are perfectly safe. Like right. You already know. To all, none of you.
You never know.
Never know. You never know.
But it's not. It's not me saying don't do it because I'm thankful for my ancestors and people in the past who've done it to give us freedom and equality.
Right.
But my question is, I'm saying, when does it become a point of where it gets past the margin, but saying in 2019, what can you effectively do that will change that?
Right.
And, I mean, not to get all into a racial debate, but it's like, especially for the cultures who are maybe not dominant in some areas. So let's say, let's talk about us, the black culture.
Right.
I say it's like, okay, let's also kind of all come back together and see eye to eye and put together this plan and say, okay, here's what really needs to happen.
Yeah.
We need more black judges. We need more black political figures.
Right.
We need more balance in all places to kind of improve the problem.
Yeah.
Because until that happens, it's always going to be that imbalance.
Right.
These incidents occurring, and then it's just like you're going back to the same thing, and it's kind of almost like they know your attack. They know how you're going to counter. If we do this, we just keep doing it again.
That's a good point.
Because all they're going to do is this. They don't get it. They don't get that. No, they need to, educate more of one another. I don't know who said that. Each one teach one.
Yeah. But that's a good point. It's like a boxer who if you study him enough, you already know what he's gonna do. Jab, jab, left hook, jab, jab. Like, and I think that's kind of what you're getting at, where it's just like they already know our moves. Like we ain't got no new moves. You know what I'm saying? Like after a while, or like even like a 7-game series. Like when you watch basketball, and it's like if I see the same dude for 7 games and I'm guarding the same guy for 7 games, after a while I'm gonna figure you out. And you can't. I'm not gonna let you go left no more. Like I'm watching you, and I've seen you repeatedly, and that's why James Harden can't go nowhere.
Even though every now and again he was slipping up.
Yeah, he does.
Slipping out.
He does. Off. Yeah, he can get it off.
But definitely.
After a while, man, you game plan. Like, all right, man, this is what we're gonna do.
Football is my favorite. I think it's clear that every year a rookie comes in.
Right.
That first year is an explosive year, but by next year, it's the stats are going.
Because they got figured out. I mean, and I think with any rookie though, it's a good point. With any rookie, you come in, your greatest advantage is that nobody knows what you can do, and they kind of don't know you yet. You know what I'm saying? They haven't got a chance to kind of fill you out yet. And so, I mean, I can't help but think about Jason Tatum. And like his rookie season was crazy. And then he had a slump in his sophomore season. I mean, now that had a lot to do with Kyrie and the whole situation, but like it's to your point of like,
off the dunk he got off on.
Right.
Which I feel like they swept that under
the rug. Right. Move straight past that. But nah, man, but that's how it is. It's like, with anything, like that element of surprise, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at.
And that makes me think. I mean, I know we like went off into the sport.
But
it also makes me think like to transition into just back to like the characters of the world and the workplace and stuff. Is like just somebody told me before, they was like, try not to let people quantify you, because that's what people are always out to do. And back to that, when you're the rookie, when you first come on the scene, or you come into somebody's life,
Right.
or again, workplace, whatever, the team,
Yeah.
people are trying to figure you out,
Yeah.
trying to break you down. And I feel like we keep going to the INFJ.
Oh yeah. Oh man, come on. Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's whatever.
Because,
Yeah.
it's personality types who, as you know, they're easy to figure out.
Right.
And to pinpoint. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, I dealt with you before. I know how to get rid of you. I know where you're.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some game superhero where
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was that spot where you
Yeah.
keep hitting them.
Well, yeah,
Once I
it's
hit that,
yeah. When you play the video games, it's like if I keep hitting the combination with ABX, AB, you know what I mean? Like I want to knock them out. And it's like KO,
right.
you know? Yeah, right. Nah, but you're right. That everybody has a weak spot and a weak point. But you're right though. I think we all go through life, and I honestly think that for better or for worse, like everybody categorizes and labels because it's like I think it's because it's shorter and quicker to do so than it is to actually kind of take people on a case by case situation or a case by case. When you meet people, it's like, all right, well, maybe this, maybe that, maybe it's not what I assume. I know I've made this. This looks like you're playing the same notes as the last person, and I think I know what that next note is going to be. But maybe not.
Right.
And it's like that whole giving people the benefit of the doubt thing, but that takes more effort.
Before that,
Assuming is easier and faster.
Again, especially in 2019, in the era of fast food.
Yo, man.
Nothing is, that takes time to just marinate.
Man. No, we need that quick now. Like Chick-fil-A, we need that McDonald's. We need that straight up, like quick, fast, in a hurry. And like again, like there's certain places that can do it fast and still maintain the quality. That's a select few, but that's not the majority. You know what I mean? A lot of times the quality is lost at the sacrifice of speed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man. No, that's how it is. I mean, but kind of circling back to the whole protesting thing is that like you said, man. I think it's like change also takes work, like true change.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And if you can't get people to focus for longer than 10 minutes or an hour or whatever, it's hard to make any real progress towards one single goal.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, you said earlier about kind of collectively getting black people together and actually kind of thinking through things. I mean, even that in and of itself is a feat to do. Just to try. It's not that it's wrong. It's just that good luck. Like it's you know what I mean. But it needs to happen. It's one of those things where it's just like getting anybody rallied around anything is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, man. Like whether it's getting supporters for a podcast or anything, you know what I mean? Like getting people to go out buy your album, like it's just difficult to get people to rally around a thing because everybody. It's like in order to really get the fire going, you got to get enough logs together to get that fire going. But all the logs are, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like they're everywhere. They're so dispersed. It's difficult, man. It's tough.
Know why I just think of like the dog who he see a ball bounce by and he's just like it's like hey look
hey
here.
I'm trying to tell you something.
Like no some
chasing the car,
chasing
the car. Oh, it's like the dog barking in the when they look out the window and they and it's like, would you shut up?
That's
cars
so
running by.
I don't know if this relates to it. But I was at the not the animal shelter, but what's the animal place in Zona Rosa?
Oh, I don't know. Not in Zona Rosa.
I guess like
is it like a little
shelter,
zoo? Oh, okay, shelter.
Yeah,
okay.
But So I walk in the place, and well, she wanted to walk in the place, so we go in there,
Right.
and we walk in there, and it's like 1 o'clock, and like all the dogs are asleep, and I'm like, she's like, it's so quiet in here. I said, yeah, I said, because they got them drugged. I ain't never walked in this place and ain't nobody barking. Like, everybody's knocked out. Like, it's like 10 dogs. And the crazy thing is, like, 9 of them were pit bulls.
Wow.
And only one of them was like a little dog.
Yeah.
Know? But everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
So, and it's just all people walking around. Next thing I know, a dog comes in and everybody's just like, like everybody's barking. But it was so bizarre.
That's weird.
And I'm like, what the hell just happened here? So the dude at the desk, he's like, yeah. They get excited when another dog walk in. They put that dog in its cage. Next thing you know, everybody gets quiet.
Wow.
And goes back to lay down. I'm
like, that's crazy.
I'm like, okay, all right. Like, I guess they so used to us.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's and see one of the
another dog.
Right.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, and also though, what quiet pit bulls you know? I mean, like you said, like
that's why
you know what I'm saying? Like, you right, right.
Out of all the dogs, like, we ain't talking no bulldog, a chill dog. Like, oh no. No. Pit bulls stay red.
Nah, they drugged. There's something wrong. There's something I don't know what's going on. Like, there's definitely a reason for this. Nah, that's true though, man. Like, that's hilarious. But nah, man. But it is like the dog, man. Like, you see dogs, like I said, barking at cars driving by.
Yeah.
And that attention span is short, man. It's just like, you know, it's like the shiny ball.
Yeah,
you know, Look over here. Look over here. Okay, look over here. Look over here. You know, and it's just like, I feel like people are no different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, even if when you're on social media, you're scrolling. The part of being on social media and the activity of being on social media is just the act of scrolling. Like, you can't even sit on one thing.
Right.
It's not even designed for you to sit on one thing.
No, it is. It is. And have you noticed at times, like, how fast you scroll? Like, Like you're so anxious to get to the next.
That's crazy. You're right.
Go,
but you know that's crazy, because I actually felt like I was doing that the other day, and I had to stop myself because it was like it's weird that you say that, because I almost consciously caught myself. I'm like, why? I can't even process this fast.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I need to get? And I think. Now this is getting interesting, because now I think it goes back to that FOMO, that fear of missing out thing.
Okay.
It's that theory it's called fear of missing out.
FOMO.
FOMO.
Never heard of it.
Okay, yeah, and like I think it's like a marketing tool actually.
Okay.
But what they do is make you seem like you're missing out. Like, you know when they say, buy while supplies last. We've only got 5 left.
Yeah.
They got 20 left.
Sense of urgency.
It's an urgency thing. They got 25 left, but they're telling you they got 5.
Right.
Because they want to trigger that nature, that human nature in us to, oh no, if I don't get it now, then it may not be there when I get back. I'll never get it. It'll be gone forever. And it's not true. But that whole FOMO thing, man, it's like, it's that, I think that kind of goes even to how we scroll. We scroll. And I'm like, I can't even process this fast. And I know it's myself personally bringing the phone closer to my face. And I'm like, I'm not even registering what I'm looking at anymore. I'm like, why do I need the phone this close to my but again, like, I think they just train us to do it. Like, and I even heard, like, the people who create these apps like Facebook and Instagram, like, they have like a team of marketers in the background studying how to keep you addicted. Down to the color, down to the little noise and the bell and the ding, the little ring or whatever. Like, they've studied, like, they've engineered this to keep us chained to it.
That's what's deep to me. That's
man.
What's deep. That's what's scary. That is heavy.
It's crazy
because you don't. Most people, I think, don't see it that way. The few that do, you don't even see it that deep. Like you don't even see deep enough. Like you might know, like, okay, yeah, this is a sales tactic.
Right.
But like you just said, but you have no idea. Like it's like
how deep it goes.
Deeper.
It gets even deeper.
Yeah, like everything is just studied and just broken down.
Man, they got a what's it called? A research and development team. I mean, every company has a research and R&D. So it's like, but I guess you can kind of reverse engineer it and be like, well, why wouldn't Facebook have that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't these app companies have it? They want to be successful. They want to be profitable, and profits come down to attention spans. It comes down to how long can I keep them on this app? How long? What's the maximum amount of time? Study it, put it in the lab. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people, when they like, hey man, they just paid me $100 to go and test this thing out that I don't even know. And it's like, you nothing but a big rat in the race. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you nothing but a mouse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just an experiment. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're right though. A lot of people don't look deeper into it, and they just kind of take it at face. I mean, I think most people do, unless you just really want to keep digging and figuring it out. But it's not designed for you to figure it out. It's designed for you to keep using it.
Right.
They don't want you to figure it out. Just use it. If you keep using it, the more money I make, just keep using it.
Exactly.
Don't even worry about what's going on in the kitchen.
Stay hypnotized.
Right. Exactly. Nah, man, it's almost like it's kind of evil, man, because like it's such an unfair fight between like consumer and like producer, because they have all the money, all the researchers to kind of engineer all this stuff, and we just like drones. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go buy the iPhone. I gotta go, and we do it, and I gotta download this, and half the apps come on the phone already. Like, you know what I mean? Like here, like, you want it. Yeah. You want it. Come on, click it.
It's that. It's that matrix. Again, as we talked about, it's like, when you see everybody moving towards it, and then you like hop out the line. You're like, where's everybody going? But everybody's just constantly moving. I can't think of the move.
Yeah, I feel like I see that image in my head. I don't know where it's from.
It's just like you're just pulled to it. You're glued to it.
It's like a pull, man.
But and you made me think about even like another crazy thing about social media too. I was hearing this on this radio show this morning. Again, they was just talking about that whole thing of like social media making people depressed.
Oh yeah,
and because again, you're like subconsciously comparing yourself
all the time
to your peers, especially, or anybody that you went to school with,
or they doing this and I'm not doing it.
And so like, I mean, I haven't been on social media too much in a long time. Like nowadays, I've stripped everything down off Instagram. But I'll still go on there. But like Facebook, everything is up there. But I've been debating on, like, should I delete it? Should I strip it down?
Well, let me ask you this, though. In light of that, have you noticed a difference? You said people who use these apps are depressed, but you say you haven't been on there for a while. Have you noticed a difference in your own life in terms of, like, that?
Depression leaving me? No.
Never mind that.
I already knew where you was going with that. I picked up on
I tried to slide it in there real quick. Like, what you think about that number right there?
No. But I think that's an interesting question. Because obviously, I just
it doesn't help
the struggles of life, right. But it is something for me to think about. And I try to think about it now.
And
answer that question. I would say.
Or what have you noticed, just in general, even if it's not depression?
Yeah. I would say I think the biggest thing that's changed is being away from social media. It has brought me back down to earth, closer to reality.
Okay.
To where when I was really into it, I was like those people that was sitting up saying, oh man, he's got the best life. You know,
Right.
I wish my life was like his,
Right.
or you know,
Right.
again that competing or that just wishful
Competition.
thinking, hoping,
Right. Right.
and then but then what happens is I take that out of my life and I began to see like my environment, and I'm about to bring something else up.
Yeah.
I heard this morning that I wanted to run by you, and but so like um, back to that depression part. You know, it's just that normal thing that we all go through of
Right.
like,
Right.
oh, here's Monday again.
Right.
5 days to go.
Right.
But
Right.
when you get off of the platforms that like sells you that dream, and that dream that like everybody's living it like this,
Yeah.
and you
What's
kind of
wrong
look
with you?
around, yeah,
Yeah.
and you just come back to earth and you look at the people around you who are like kind of like in the struggle
Right.
with you,
Right.
and then it kind of helps you to like appreciate the things that are in your life and what you are around.
Gratitude.
So like for example, because I had just got two thoughts from this, but one.
Yeah.
I was listening to Steve Harvey show this morning,
Right.
and they was talking about how I think Walt Disney's great granddaughter or granddaughter, whoever it is, it's in the news. You can find. She made a comment where she was like pretty much trying to encourage additional tax on the rich and the wealthy. And she made this comment. I almost came to your desk to tell you this.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it just
yeah,
slipped
yeah,
my mind.
yeah.
But I thought it was so deep. I was like, She said, I want to encourage that tax. She said, because there are people in this world that have no idea what it's like to pretty much be her. And she has no idea what it's like to just be a regular everyday person.
Wow.
She said, or there's a stat that 48% of all the population, don't quote me, but I think that's what it is. 48% of all the population, if an emergency occurred in the blink of an eye, ranging around like an emergency that cost you like $400, 48% of people couldn't take care of it.
Wow.
Like so.
Wow.
So what she was saying was just simply that, look, my life, I will never know what it's like to
not need
wake
$400.
up, yes, go to a cubicle 5 days a week,
Wow.
deal with micromanagement,
Right.
Get in the rat race of traffic. Had to get home, shower, go to the gym, cook dinner, make time for my significant other, for my kids, and not worry about, now I'm rambling, but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But, getting all off into, oh, my kids growing up saying, Daddy wasn't in my life.
Right.
You losing your marriage because your wife felt empty and lonely. And, it's funny, but it's real.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it's real because, like, a psychologist or anybody else would identify that, and say, or I just try to tell a chick, like, listen, it ain't I don't want to spend time with you. Life just takes over.
No, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not even one specific thing. So, it's like everything. You know what I mean? It's just how life works.
And that was but that was just deep with what she said. So she was just saying,
man, that's powerful.
I do think that because you can imagine the cake she got, the money she got is
I can't. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can imagine it. That's like next to. Like eternal, like that's ongoing. Like I don't even know if I can.
Just acquire more platforms and stuff, Netflix.
Right.
But so back to the social media thing.
That's interesting,
like,
man.
Yeah, when I think about that, when I got away from it, it takes me out of that space to where like. I had a friend tell me we was just talking about like the whole like Donald Trump, the politics, just
Right.
like who's the president. Everybody always blames the president.
Right.
He said, dude, he said, I want you to do a week-long experiment. All right, Siri is coming on. All right, I never said that, but okay. So
She's recording this conversation too.
Anyway, but
The government is listening.
yeah, exactly. They watching.
They watching.
But no, he was like, for a week, he said, I want you to just don't turn on no social media, don't turn on no news, and he was trying to say like, and see how much Trump affects your life. like you know how you got people who just every day they're set on Trump. I'm not saying that things that they do in government don't affect us. Of course it's government.
Yeah, right.
But it's like don't I can't think of the word. Don't obsess over something unless it's good.
Right.
And now we could like almost go into religion. Right?
Yeah,
They say set your eyes on the Lord.
Yeah,
but it's like when you set your mind every day on that thing, that will become you. It's like damn. Every week it's Trump's fault. Like every week,
it can't be this often. Like every single day. Every single day.
That dude that cut you off in traffic,
that was Trump's fault. Right.
He did that. Like it's like man. Like, you gotta.
No, that's a great point though, man. That's an excellent. I mean, you said a lot right there. I wish man, that's so good. You said a lot of things because, I mean, even with the Trump situation, that you summed it up perfectly because. That's it, man. I heard somebody say like something to the same effect. He was like, "Does Trump wake you up in the morning? Does he set your alarm at night?"
Hey, you would be amazed. Yeah, some people.
Hey, look, man. He said, "Does he make your Cheerios in the morning?"
Hey, he said, "My dream." He said, "He's in my nightmares." Like, hey,
yeah.
Some people wake up to you're fired.
Well, you're fired. You're fired. Nah, man. But and it's like. I guess his point was your point was like, man, does he drive your car to work every day? Does he affect your day to day? Like, does he work in that cubicle with you? Is he processing those policies for you? No, he's not affecting your life to that degree. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you're letting him.
For you to obsess over.
Yeah, man.
And I think what's even crazy about that too is I feel like that's a past generation thing. Like our grandparents.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about
that's true.
Like your grandparents, your parents, those are the ones who are like so hung up on Trump, on politics, on that. But I feel like we're part of the more we are taking more action,
right?
To say let's not dwell on who, but let's dwell on the what, and how it could be changed.
Right.
But unfortunately, that influence from the past can trickle down.
Old habits die hard.
Yeah. And then we get infected with the disease, and some of us
it's in the blood.
Start to,
It
is his fault, or it's their fault, or whatever. But we come from the age of where thinking has never been so free.
Yeah, that's true.
It's never been so limited
and open.
Yeah.
I mean,
open,
open in a lot of ways.
Always.
But it's to your point though. Like you said, like we probably the most. I don't want to say liberated, but maybe liberal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we live in the most liberal generation, like as of yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like you said, like there's definitely a generational difference because. I mean, you gotta think about like our grandparents and parents and whatnot. Like, they grew up reading newspapers and like the government. Like it was. I talked about this last time with Jason about systems, right?
I was just
and it's that system thing.
Systematic.
Yeah, it's that system thing because back in their day, I think as a whole, like. They just kind of went along with the system.
Right.
You go and pay your taxes. You do you vote. You do the thing, and then it turns out the exact way that I thought. Like it's I guess I'm trying to figure out how to say it, but it's like it's a general overall just trust of like that's what's going to happen. They do this, we do that, and I think our generation kind of breaks through that a little bit, and it's just like, nah, there's probably another way to do this. There's probably 3 or 4 other ways to think about this. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, it's a system thing.
Like I even think about maybe some entertainers who the older entertainers who talked about like when they came up, their parents was like,
Right.
you know, they thought that they had the worst kids in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
you know,
right,
the
right.
devil's kids because they did choose to want to pursue a dream.
Right,
Or if you
right.
think about like the Temptations movie.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
when the preacher's father or they was mad, you know, but then you had one
You supposed to be
parent
singing
that
the
was
Lord's,
sworn.
yeah. I mean, all that, like, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we more so now, or it seems like we as parents, we will be able to accept dreams from our kids way more.
Oh man, without a
than
doubt.
what our parents did.
Without a doubt, man. I think, like you said, it goes back to us being in this more open generation. I think that's a good point because, again, like we're gonna pass down to our kids what we're experiencing now.
Yeah.
And eventually, the older generations, just as time does, they'll die off.
Yeah.
And then you have kind of a new norm.
Yeah.
Of possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, for whatever. But like when you look at Obama, like Obama, however you feel about him, like his just physical representation, him just being there, he was a physical representation of hope.
Yeah.
Like literally, like he literally looked like, wow, like that happened. Maybe this other thing could happen. Maybe this thing is possible. And so
he was the code cracker.
Exactly.
He was the barrier breaker.
Right. He broke through. Yeah.
Every race. It was like,
on site.
Then everybody's here.
There's nothing subtle about a black man in the White House. Like there's nothing subtle about that. Like it's like he don't have to say nothing. He's just stand there. Like you know what I mean? Like just stand there and just be there. Like that's all. That's enough. That's enough to give people hope. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like and so it's the truth, man. It's so I think that's kind of like how it works, man. And I think just as a result of that, people, like I said, and sometimes, I kind of go back and forth because sometimes it can kind of feel like naive and like you can do anything, all dreams are possible. But there is a level of like, I mean, look, even looking at Trump now, it's the same kind of thing. It's a different feeling, but it's the same kind of like, wow, I guess anything's possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different kind of tone, but you're saying the same words. Obama, wow, anything's possible. And you look at Trump, man, I guess anything's possible. Either way, you talk about possibility. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. But I don't know, man, for better or for worse, it's just one of those things where, like, and like even social media and our phones, and in some respects, you can look at it like even us doing this podcast now, like, they've made this so easy to do. Like, it's easy to do. It's possible. Yeah. You can go pick up a mic and plug it up into your computer. Just do it. Yeah. You can go record an album. Just go get a laptop. Like, everybody has been freed up to just do whatever.
And you know something? Because, I've been talking to you about, school, what majoring.
Right.
This topic has even been coming up lately with just other people in my life.
Right.
And you know what it all revolves around? Technology. how we was talking about?
Yeah, man.
Can I mention the cocaine conversation, the Scarface?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Can I say that word?
Go ahead. Go ahead. You free to go. You free. You free. It's a free platform.
Yeah.
In light of the conversation, it's open and free. Go for it. Go for it.
You ain't got certain,
Nah. We good, man. No, it's all good, man.
But
I welcome all perspectives.
Yeah. Just when we talking about just the era of the drug era.
Yeah.
Talking about, and I made the joke. I said, man, hey, if we was born in, we might have sold a little something,
No, but you know what? But that's a great metaphor, and the reason why little bag here, little bag there on the corner. This is my corner. It's straight up like The Wire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta start it. I just know about the plot. But the point is, though, it's like, how do we not know that wouldn't be true? Right. Because it's not technology, or I'll just say podcasting because we're doing it, but like it's not podcasting like just a modern day version of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's that accessible, who's to say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, either way, what generation? You know, if you born in any generation, you can't say what you would or wouldn't do
at that time. Right.
because that's what's available to you at that time.
Yeah, every generation.
Like in the '80s, they didn't have this.
How we talk about I should have been born in the '80s.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I was saying that to actually go into tech is the new crack. It's the new cocaine. Everything that,
I might have to name that.
Just mentioned,
yeah, I like that. Yeah,
tech is the new crack.
Yeah, I like that.
Because think
Go
about
ahead.
it, everything you just mentioned
Right.
is because of the advancements in technology.
Yeah, man.
Podcast, social media. It's just when you talk. I know what made me think of that because you said anybody can start a podcast by picking up a mic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, me coming from rap and you coming from music,
Right.
think about music.
Right.
I was just telling somebody the other day, I said, I've done everything rapping except ever shoot my video. Ever shoot a video. I never shot a video.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I said, but at the time when I was doing it, first started at 13, you know, there was no such thing as shooting at home.
Right,
You know, that was
right,
quality.
right.
But as time went on,
Yeah.
I said by the time I cut out rapping or went inactive, you could get a video for $300.
Yeah.
But again, thank technology for that.
Right.
And then ever since, you know, Chief Keef and
Yep.
all of them,
Yep.
you know, you could shoot a video on your phone and it don't even have to be edited or
So-
nothing. So, you know,
So
just
let me
technology.
ask you this. Let me ask you this in light of that, right? So everybody can do it. Everybody has access to the same equipment, more or less, as everybody else does. So my thought is like, has that encouraged you or discouraged you in terms of, because you can shoot a video on your phone, you can do all these type of things, and I know sometimes for me, my first gut reaction,
Right.
I mean, it may not be where I end up, but my first gut reaction is to kind of like, man, I don't know, man, just everybody doing it. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. If everybody's doing it, like there's no quality in it. There's nothing special about it. And that's part of the reason why it took me long to do this podcast, because this has become kind of like the new thing, you know. But my wife forced me, so so here we are. But like, but it's one of those things where it's like it's a catch-22 because I feel both sides of it. Where I feel like it's so accessible and so reachable that everybody can do anything at any given time, and it's just too many people on stage. It's like everybody's got a mic on stage, and it's chaos, and I can't hear none of y'all because there's no order here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
As I tell my homeboy, I said, technology has turned on everybody's mic.
Right.
Everybody's talking at the same time. Like, I don't know if you saw the debate last week.
Nah, I
and
didn't.
they made this big deal about like all the candidates were talking at one time.
Oh yeah.
And, the chick Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah. Kamala.
Saying her first.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
She said, "Okay, everybody." America doesn't want to see a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table. You know, and, everybody, she like shut it down. And then,
That's good.
She
That's
just dropped
good.
the mic.
That's good,
everybody
yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
But it's that.
That's
you know,
a good point.
Everybody's talking at once.
Right.
Saying, you know, this and that. And the thing is, you know, it ain't even us, but I don't know if I was talking to you about this, but it's like, it's not just us regular people saying that, but it's people that's on saying that. Like an interview Wale did, where he was just talking about how it's just the market is just oversaturated.
Yeah,
like, you know, to where he even felt discouraged.
Right,
you know,
right.
You're talking Wale.
I think I did hear that.
He's
Right.
On.
He's already there.
Yeah, and that was a great interview. It was
who did that? Who did that?
Gems he was dropping in there. I think it was about Rap Radar.
Okay.
Because I saw it on Tidal.
Elliot and B-Dot.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Got you.
And
right.
but yeah, it was just he was just talking about just how it's so oversaturated, and it's a problem. It really is to the point to where I almost want to say like, they used to get mad back in the day with the music industry because labels control everything. Right. They control what's on radio, but I almost feel like it needs to be a filter. There's got to be a gatekeeper.
There you go.
For somebody to stand at the gate and say, no, you can't get in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cool. Hey, him.
Right.
Back to the end of the line.
You just killed. You just summed it up. Like somebody's got to say no.
Exactly.
Somebody.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You can't rap. No, I'm sorry. Like just because you got the equipment, don't mean that you should be doing this. I'm sorry. Like somebody has to say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just what I want to add to that is when you say that somebody got to say you can't rap. My homeboy get mad at me about this because he's like, man, you can't go off on everybody. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. You can't say this dude shouldn't rap or he can't rap. I said, no, man.
Yes,
this is what the problem is. When the market gets oversaturated, it's business, right? It's supply and demand.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
When it's too much, the product loses value.
It's value.
And it don't cost as much as it used to, and the profits aren't what they used to be.
Right.
And just so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So,
it's a trickle effect.
Yeah. So I'm telling him, I'm like, listen, when just anybody can access a mic,
right,
and get popularity or whatever, just overnight sensations, are made, then again it dilutes the product.
Right.
So no, you are absolutely right. The same way you feel about that, I felt that about rap.
That's true.
And that was one of the biggest things that discouraged me because I tell people without ranting too much about it today, this episode, but so like
he'll be back.
My my golden era of rap was early 2000s, maybe late 90s, early 2000s, with New York.
Right.
I told you, New York. That's like so
something in the water.
Yeah, I came up on where when New York was hot, and there's no disrespect to other areas because it was ill Southern rappers,
right?
Outkast, Midwest,
right.
But I said at that time it was like there was a certain standard, and the standard was, as a rapper, you had to come with it like lyrically,
right,
and just
delivery.
yeah, delivery wise. And what it did for me was it made me strive to be better. It made me strive to pick up a dictionary, to almost create. It was an art.
Yeah.
It was a practice to it. It was a training, a conditioning for it.
There you go. Conditioning is a good word. Yeah.
It's not that no more.
Yeah.
It's just pick up the ball, start dribbling, start shooting,
and you're gonna make it to the league.
Yeah.
There's like you said, I like what you said, conditioning, because it's sports and music and whatever, but like there's a certain muscle you build up in conditioning. I know when I played ball in high school, like we had seasons, we had the season and then we had off season.
Yeah.
And so even though I played ball for like you're right, even though I played ball for like the 4 or 5 months that we had it in season, basketball was year round because there was the off season.
Right.
And then the off season was all about conditioning.
Right.
And the coaches be checking up on you doing you lifting, you going, you running, because we would have to go to, even during the summer. Our summers were taken up. Yeah. Had to run around the school 3 times, like conditioning, working those muscles up. Right. And I think a lot of times, actually, I mentioned this on the prior podcast about music, but Berry Gordy, Motown, right? So like the history of Motown, the word Motown, he created it because it reflected the times he was in.
Okay.
In Detroit, Motor Town.
I think I've heard that.
Yeah. So he set up Motown to run like an assembly line. And so what he did was you see Barry Gordy was a genius. So what he did is that's why Motown was so successful. So he tells the story. I read the story that Diana Ross, right? Even at the height of her career, when she went on tours, she came back and she had to go through boot camp. Just like it was like the vets all the way down to the vets to the rookies on that label. He's like, you go back and she would have to go through etiquette training. So like down to the fact he had an etiquette coach hired on staff to teach them down to the details of how to handle the media as an artist, how to even as the ladies, like when they had dresses on, how to step out of a car with a dress. Like everything was down to a science. And it's to your point about conditioning. A lot of people out now, there's no curation. There's no filtering. There's no no, pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to that. There's, like you said, gatekeeper. It's like, no, you don't need to worry about that. Focus over here. Because the system back in the day curated all that for you. So like the system, the labels, the big labels say, no, you're not ready. Artist development.
That's what I was just about to say. You know what that is, what that was. That was artist development.
Right.
The A&Rs.
Right.
And I think that started in the mid 2000s, 05, between 08, when the A&R started getting removed. Yeah. And artists have talked about this.
I never noticed that.
Artist development been gone since the mid 2000s.
I didn't realize it was gone that long.
And here it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think
and now you need it back.
The last story of artist development, and I would say firsthand, I can vouch for seeing her maturation. That was Rihanna. And
I could totally see that. Go ahead.
Took her from just the
Ponder Replay. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Little teenage.
I was gonna say just young cute girl.
Yeah, right.
The teenage star,
pop star.
So she evolved into this full-fledged artist,
superstar.
Yeah, who like she became a brand.
Yeah,
she became Rihanna.
That's a great point, man, because when I remember where I was when I saw Ponder Replay that video, and I think she came out right around the time I think Tierra Marie was out. I think.
Yeah.
And
no, she didn't.
They
were both.
They were kind of neck and neck. And I remember thinking to myself, I never figured this out. I remember thinking that it's funny now because time always tells. I was like, I didn't see nothing special about Rihanna.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's cool. At that moment, I like in terms of just talent, I was like, she seemed just as good as Tierra Marie.
Yeah.
And like they were pretty much like side by side, but like you said,
like a normal
another chick
dressed at that time.
Exactly.
Like she just wearing what everybody.
Yeah, right, doing what they do and whatnot, and like you said, but the difference was the artist development, who Rihanna got connected to.
Yeah.
And how they curated, how they created that thing.
Yeah.
Because each album, you look at her album covers each one is very different than the last one.
Yeah.
If you even look at the covers themselves, like you said, it was a slow evolution. It gets darker. It does get darker, but there is an evolution. Like you said, like she's turning into something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Each album, let's just tweak it here. Let's tweak it there. Okay, now pull that down. Now pull that up. Yeah. But yeah, man, like you said, and I feel like technology, as great as it is, and as great as it is that everybody can do something, the new thing, at least in my mind, is that we need more curators. We need more like people that can like say, like you said, yes, no, I'm sorry, you're not ready. You know what I mean? But everybody has access to a phone, so that's difficult because most people feel like, well, if I got access to a phone, why can't I?
Exactly.
Why can't I? Why can't I be on YouTube and do the thing? There's this kid, man, I think his name is Ryan's Toys or something. Yeah, you know about it. So my nephew my nephew would come over our house and watch that show all the time, and my mind was blown. I think we did have this conversation.
My friend said his son watches it.
Yeah, man, but every kid does. Every kid does. And he wouldn't be making money if no kids weren't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like bizarre because I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with that, but. It just says a lot about the time that we're in and like what's possible, but at the same time, sometimes it kind of makes you, because like my little sisters think about starting a YouTube channel. You know, my wife was thinking about doing a YouTube channel. And we're all kind of like at the point where, for better or for worse, look, everybody feels empowered. It's like, well, why can't I got something to say? Well, why don't I do something? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got something to offer. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just,
And
I don't know what the balance is.
yeah, I was gonna say, and it's shoot, forgot my thought that quick. It's like, shoot, forgot my thought.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can do that,
Right.
but I guess my question would even be like, at what point does it crash, or will it crash?
That's a good question. Does it have a bubble?
Yeah,
Like the stock market, will it?
I think, right.
Will it crash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at what
that's
point
interesting.
is it overload?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think it's almost.
What's the tipping point or the breaking point?
Society is the lottery now. You know, there are plenty of tickets every day.
Yeah, there you
there
go.
are plenty
There
of
you go.
chances just picking numbers.
Right.
You know, and then it's that whole saying of like, if you ask a real lotto stud, they'll say, well, you'll never win if you don't scratch a ticket or if you don't pick a number. So it's kind of like that. It's like, you want to speak against it, but then it's always like that little shimmer of like,
well,
but
you never know.
You could and be the
you know what it is. You know what it is, and that's part of why those things survive, is because they tease you with that little. Well, there's always that chance. Like it's kind of like, if there's a 99% chance of it not happening,
right?
You can't deny, because it's just straight up clear math
that
there's always that one. There's all, you know what I mean? Like it's always 1%. You know what I mean? And people live for that one.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, for better or for worse, people live for that one. You know, you never know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so I don't know, man. That's a good point, though. That's a great perspective, because I didn't think about the bubble, and I think about the stock market, and I think 2008 when I think it was the housing market, I think, where it crashed and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, like you said, anything that's overloaded, or anything that's not what's the word, restrained or what's the word, handled in a way that's, or anything that's not managed well, has the potential to do that, to like pop. Like, you know what I mean? That bubble's gonna pop. That balloon is gonna pop. You know,
like a bad orchestra. Like if you up the tone, everybody at the same time. Right. That's why it's like, y'all get trumpets first.
Right.
Violins.
Right. And, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because I want to add one more thing to that. Just the flip side away from like the entertainment industry, but just in everyday life, just everyday, regular jobs.
Right.
I was just having this conversation with somebody about tech, and as I was talking about getting into it myself, they were like, because a lot of people don't take me to be a tech person, right? Like, because it's the stereotype of the nerd,
right?
But
going back to the label thing.
I said, back to the label.
All right.
And but I said, but this is the thing. I said, so back to the everyday working person. I said, there's going to come a day. I said, just look at it in the retail stores. Look at it in Walmart. It used to be lines of cashiers. Now you go to Walmart, it's like one freaking cashier, and I hate it because I love Wally World, but it's like that one line is so freaking long, all the way back to the electronics section it goes, but then they got all these self-service machines.
That's right. I was just going to say that.
Yeah. So I told somebody, I said, like for example, I was talking to somebody about like the nursing medical field. I said, I don't believe that all nurses will be cut, but I do believe a day will come here soon where you will go to the doctor. It's gonna, I don't know if you ever been to a Walgreens clinic,
Yeah.
and when you go in there, you do the
Right.
touch screen.
Right.
Yeah, you will go see your doctor, and you
Right.
walk in. Everybody will be assigned a tablet or a
That's
machine.
funny.
It's gonna
Yeah.
say, "Sit here,
Yeah.
put your arm here," and it's gonna be able to take all your vitals that a nurse would do,
Right.
and you're gonna sit there, and maybe it might be one nurse that'll say, "Doctor is ready to see you now," but
That's a
at
good.
the end of the day,
That's interesting, man.
it's always been about, even before tech popped up, it's always been about a company wants to know how they can cut costs. Most companies, it's so much easier to buy a machine one time. Yeah,
There you go.
for one
That's
price.
it. That's exactly
and
it.
we'll pay any maintenance
Right.
it'll cost to keep it going.
Keep it going.
Than to hire a human being and have to deal with their ever changing moods.
Yep.
Having to have to pay
Yep.
their benefits.
Yep. I was just about to say
having
benefits.
having the workers' comp.
Right.
We a machine ain't gonna sue us, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. A machine ain't gonna get hurt on the job. Yeah.
We've been grooming humans to be machines.
Yeah,
Anyway, so now we just get a
right.
machine.
Right.
It's just,
That's a great point, man.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point because, like you said, at some point there comes a day where that's a great point about them trying to cut costs because, like you said, you pay a machine one time, and you
one
just
time.
keep pay for the maintenance.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're slowly seeing that transition now. Like I heard this comedian, he was talking about like the self-serving machines or whatnot, and he was just talking about. He made a good point though, but he was just like, he hates those machines because he's like, I don't work here.
Right.
Like you work
I
here.
like that.
Like I don't work here. Why are you
like
making me buy my groceries, put them in the cart, take my cart up to the
said
machine,
that's
and
so
then
good.
and then
That's so
I
good.
gotta buy my own. Like I don't
That's
work
so
here.
good.
He said so one day I'm gonna grab my groceries. I'm gonna walk out the building and not pay for nothing.
That's so good.
Like because it's like what's the point? Like
I had that thought the other day, but yeah, whoever said it, that was so good.
Yeah. Like I don't work here, like you do. Yeah. But it's to your point about how things are transitioning because, like you said, like, and I can't front because maybe it's that training and conditioning thing, but I go to those machines all the time because I think the illusion in my mind is like, well, it's just quicker,
me too.
it's just faster, like just do. All right, cool, I'm out. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just don't want to be bothered with with the person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm an introvert or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like,
and it's so funny too because most of the cashiers they do keep are not those all-star cashiers. You remember them all-star cashiers? Like they used to be quick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's
the total is $10.
Dude, it's almost like they keep the bad ones to force you.
Purpose.
Yeah,
Yes, I like it.
It's like it's strategic. I'm telling you, it's like y'all doing this on purpose.
Exactly.
Because you know I don't want to deal with her. I know she gonna take forever, and then like you said, that line all the way back to the electronic section.
Right.
People are slowly like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to this. Like it's just by default.
Until you're conditioned,
Right.
Every time you come in there, that's just what you do.
You just getting trained.
You because you accept it.
Accept it. You slowly accept it.
Right.
I mean, he the dude was even talking about like how like when they asked like well, he was kind of going back on the other point of like when you're getting checked out by a person, and they asked, well, can I have your phone number? And he's like,
oh yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah.
He said, what do you need my phone number for? And she's like, well, it's just to help me get into the machine. He's like, no, it's not. Why do you need my phone number? Yeah. He said, why? So you can sell it?
Yeah.
And try to give me and market to me a little bit better. Like, nah. And he's like, and so his whole point was like, we just willingly, like you said, we're conditioned to just like drones. Just here's your phone. Here's my phone number. Here's my social security number. Here's all of here's my identity. Here you go. Just take it. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough because again, it goes back to that system thing where like we are all, I don't know. It's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of going back to the Matrix type stuff, but we really are living in this society, in this system, in this world where we're like kind of just in this matrix of it's like a maze. When you see a mouse in the maze, and it's like there's a wall over here, there's a wall over here, and the only place to go is left. And then the only place to go is right. And I don't know, like the alternatives are either not there or they're too hard to do or inconvenient.
But that's that's another conversation.
Yeah.
For another episode maybe. But I think though that's the one variable in encouraging people to dream, because even in all of that dreaming, only so little, so such a small amount of people. Back to the Chris Rock tambourine.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
Only so few are going to get through there. So it's like, for those who don't, you almost get to a point to where you just accept it as, well, I guess this is it. This is how it's gonna be, and especially depending on what you do.
That's true.
Because
That's
again, with me, where I'm at in life, in my age, like, that's a part of the reason I kind of stepped away from doing rap.
Right.
Even though rappers are in their 40s now, almost 50. But it's just like,
some of them look young. I mean, sometimes it don't even matter.
Yeah. The conditioning though is just it's so hard to avoid. And like my mom just sent me a text before I got over here. Amazon is opening up their first full robotic warehouse in Missouri.
Wow.
So and it's a screenshot of it if I still got it. But yeah, it's an assembly line. It's just got all these robotic hands.
That's crazy.
And
I think I saw a video of I gotta send it to you. Oh man, that's crazy.
But and so
in St. Peter's, okay.
Yeah, for me to see that, like, and with me working there in the past, pretty much what it looks like that's going to do is we used to take the boxes off the truck, put them on that thing, and it would go up that ramp.
Gotcha.
That's a ramp, so it would go up the ramp. And once
so you literally seen, you know how that works.
This,
okay, got you.
And it would be scanned.
Yeah.
And, pretty much that's how they put in the system that, okay, Jeremy's package has arrived to his city.
Got you.
So now it's ready to go.
Got you.
So, yeah, I mean, for now, I don't think you're going to have a robot that's going to unload a truck of 5,000 packages. But
they're going to do your job better and faster.
Yeah. But you damn sure you got a robot who going to take it from me, when I put it on that conveyor belt.
Right,
right.
Man, but that's pretty wild, though. And actually, it's right on topic, because it kind of shows that what other jobs are replaceable now.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Well,
see, and you already know where I was going. So, see, that's what I was gonna say. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like robots could do our job now.
Yeah,
they could do that. They can. But this is the thing though. That's why we feel like machines when we do it, because it's a machine based position.
It really is.
And that's why it feels so unnatural. When you're sitting there for 8 hours a day, you get paid to basically see how long you can sit. That's basically what you're getting paid for. Is how long can he sit in this one? Can he sit here for 8 hours and take it? How long can he take this? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a job. It's an experiment. It's you know what I'm saying?
You did 10, do 10 more.
Right. No, and that's like you said, man. Like I feel like robots could do our job now, man. And I think. Now, this kind of takes it back all the way around, because then it kind of makes me think that it's such a catch-22. Because now I'm starting to wonder if that's true, if robots can really do our job now, then what kind of jobs and what kind of like fields do we need to be? What jobs are irreplaceable? And that's rhetorical. But it's like, essentially, if you think about it, what jobs are irreplaceable, really?
Yeah, I thought about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because what can't be done by a machine? Now, that's a good research question. That's a good question to kind of think on. But it's like, if that's where the world is going, where it's like everything is just shifting towards AI. Yeah, right. Man, but the thing is though, they probably got they're coming out with them dolls. Yeah. I seen that somewhere on social. Well, I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, right. But my point is, man, look, sex permeates everything. It don't matter. Like, sex is gonna always sell, no matter what generation. They're gonna find a way to sell sex to somebody. Like, because that's human nature. Like, they always try to go to the biology. Like, let's go. What do people need to eat? You know what I mean? Sex. You know what I mean? So like, but my point is like, but yeah, man, it's like, what jobs are irreplaceable at this point? I mean, what, and I think that's kind of the thing. And I think, ironically, kind of takes us full circle, but it might be to some degree creative jobs where you have to literally, like, it comes from your mind.
I was
what I'm saying,
thinking about that,
like, yeah,
on the way over here. I was thinking, as I was talking to someone about trying to get into the tech space,
right.
I was saying to myself, don't look at this as you're gonna be this boring IT guy sitting up at a computer writing code.
Stereotypes, labels.
Look at it as you're about to try to enter a space again that is limitless.
Right.
That who knows what jobs may await tomorrow.
That's true.
Perfect example, a friend of mine who just moved out to San Diego, he's out there being a data scientist.
Okay.
And a data scientist, at least it wasn't marketed a couple years ago, but so I'm going to just say, for the regular everyday people, there was no such thing,
right,
per se.
Right,
like, people be like, a data scientist, what is that?
Right.
Well, no, so now today, that's a new position.
Interesting.
And I can't think of this dude. He does a YouTube channel, Asian guy. I have to get his name, but he talked about his advice for people, the new generation looking for jobs. He said, look for jobs that will soon be, that are soon to come. Look for jobs that are not here today,
that's powerful,
but will be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
that takes foresight, though.
Yeah, he used the data scientist as his prime example. He said this was not here 5 years ago.
Right.
Now they need these people.
Right.
So, man,
do you know what a data scientist is? Did he explain it?
I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
But what I think I remember what the data scientist does is it's the person that overlooks the data of a business.
Okay.
So you're literally put there in that company, or that business or whatever, to watch over their workflow of their system.
Gotcha.
So, like, for example, you have like software developers who create the like Microsoft Office suites with Word and Excel, but then you got people who create like our processing tracker. So you might be assigned to create software for just that company specifically, at that building.
Right.
So you got people whose job is to track when you key in that task that you completed. And they're like monitoring the numbers and making sure that the flow of it is going
going good.
So that is working.
See, that's interesting, man. I mean, that's a great point, because now, like you said, I like what you said about look for jobs that will be, that aren't here now. And if you look at, maybe there's a list out there, but like, last 5, 6, 7 years, what jobs exist now? Right. Or even, it's true, even apps. But like, what jobs weren't here that are here now as a result of this? Because a lot of these jobs are just, I don't want to say reactions, but they're responses to other problems.
True.
Or they're responses to other things. Like, it's like, well, if we got this thing, then we kind of need this thing.
That's it. Yeah.
So we need to make a position out of that, because so it's almost like a domino effect, where like this triggered this over here, and now we need this over here.
Like, I just wanted to add an example real quick, and I see that periodic table of hip hop on your wall.
Right.
But when marijuana started to become legal in the States, when it first hit in Denver and Seattle, so people obviously know marijuana is a big market.
Yeah.
So the first thought people said was, okay, how can I sell it? How can I grow it? So then they pretty much regulated who could sell it or whatever.
Right.
So then people started saying, well, how could I still be associated with this? So a group of guys created the periodic table of marijuana.
Oh,
and if you know, I'm not a smoker.
That's that's interesting.
But marijuana has different strands. So what they
Oh
did
yeah,
with this
I've
table,
heard about it.
They
got
put
you.
each strand
That's
in
slick.
there, yeah.
Oh wow,
So
yeah.
then Another company, they said, well, there's going to be greenhouses. Those greenhouses are going to need the technology to cut the lights on and off, the sprinklers on and off, maybe even security devices to watch that. So then people just start it just kept
well, you know what it
building
is?
up.
That's a great example, because then it's like you said, you start with the seed of the idea, and then you say, okay, if this thing grows, what else would you logically need?
Yeah.
Like, even just like you said, so you need somebody logically to keep the lights on.
Right.
For that type of thing. Security, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, or how far you want to take the security. You want people to badge in, you know, whatever, Or, like you said, the creative aspect of it was like the periodic table, where it's like, see, now that's kind of genius, though, because whoever came up with that, their thought was probably like, yo, we always hear about strands of weed, and we always hear about this one and that one and that one and this one, but nobody's ever like organized it. You know what I'm saying? Like why hasn't anybody? And I think a lot of good ideas come out of that. Well, why hasn't somebody done this? Right. Like that question. Right. Why hasn't anybody thought to bring it together?
Do that, yeah.
Like why? Like most good ideas come out of that thought or that question of like, well, why not? Why? Like it was almost sitting right there for somebody to pick up. It's so obvious.
That's a saying. I think it's like the best thoughts come out of necessity.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Who's gonna organize all this?
Things, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they always say, people every day, you know, we got something that we have a need.
Right.
You know,
that's true.
What can you supply? But but yeah, you know, that's again what
periodic table
is doing. Like,
that's interesting.
You know, and just again, just thinking back to the crack comparison,
right?
Like, you know, back to the social media and all the platforms tech has created.
Social media is the new crack.
It's made an addiction. It's created an addiction. So yes, it is an epidemic.
Right.
You know, it has infested every day. And it ain't no stopping. Last thing I say about that, as it relates to jobs with tech, I was looking on the BLS.gov site.
Oh yeah,
where you can go on there see the employee outlook of different occupations. Even your most well-known positions or careers that they've always told you to go into, all the dominant, prominent careers, lawyer, doctor, all that stuff.
Right.
They say from now to 2026, there will be like, I think say like 65,000 to 100,000 job openings.
Wow.
You look up a software engineer. You know how many job openings it say from now to 2026?
How many?
Just guess. I just want to hear your number.
Okay. 70.
So the other ones were 70,000 to 100,000.
For the lawyers and the
for like lawyers,
okay.
Doctors.
I thought you said 65. Okay, so they were 70 to what? You said 100?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say software engineers probably 120.
Okay. I thought you was gonna say that. So for the software engineer, the outlook is 1.256 million.
That's crazy.
Openings that they are projecting to take place. Yes, from now to 2026. That is going to be the need for software engineers.
Yeah, that sounds stupid. That's crazy. Like I can't even wrap my mind around.
Dude, I'm going through them and I'm looking at the numbers. And I was, doing the pros and cons, trying to weigh like, okay, this profession, that profession. And then I got there, and it was like, before I could even write the number, I did a double check. I said, 1 million, 1 million. I was like, oh yeah, this is obviously going to have a lot of
right.
And,
Am I reading that right? Yeah.
And that's just saying that today.
Man,
next summer that number might increase to 2
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
You're going to need people who can code and write these programs
to support all this
for all these companies.
Well,
like if you're gonna get a business, at some point it's going to have to be technical.
Yeah, you're gonna have. Well, it's like I was just gonna say that. Like every business has to have a certain amount of technology involved, one way or another, no matter how small and no matter how big it is. Yeah. So it kind of makes more sense to me now that you said it's over 1 million, because it's like if tech is going at the rate that it's going now and it's not slowing down anytime soon.
No time soon.
Then you can project that, okay, if we're going at this rate, at this speed, then there's going to be a whole lot of openings for all kinds of positions, because we're going to need people to support. Think about it. That's what IT support, essentially kind of mean. It's like we need somebody who's going to actually help run all this stuff, because if robots are already doing the Amazon thing, like who's running those machines? Yeah. Who's taking care of those machines?
Yeah. Who knows this software where when Jeremy calls in and he tell you what's wrong, you immediately know, okay, you need to press that button. Click there. Right. Like, funny thing, if you thought the last car I had, that Altima, was something with the remember you was like, the lights on the review thing.
Right.
Dude, I got this Camry. I hate it. It gets on my nerves. It is so tech savvy. You would have to ride with me one day to see. Yeah. But it picks up everything.
Give me an example.
I didn't buy it for that. I bought it because it was a Camry, and I know that a Camry has a great reputation of running for a long time. Right. This thing, it flicks on the rear view cameras. It flicks if I'm too close in front of me. It flicks. You know how your seatbelt go off if you don't?
Yeah, right. I hate that. I hate that noise.
This noise that it makes, like other cars just go. Ding,
this
ding,
noise that it makes.
Ding. This one goes ding ding for about 5 dings, and it goes ding 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 ding.
Oh, so. Put it on now. Like it's gonna harass you into saving your life. It's like now this thing is just designed to make me save my life, makes me want to kill myself. This thing is driving me crazy. Put it on. Yeah, just put it on. All right. That's hilarious. Wow.
I pull into a parking spot. The camera comes on, shows you, make sure it shows you that you're in between the lines, but it dings. It's got, I want to say 7 cameras around the whole car.
Oh, like the perimeter of the car.
Yes.
Wow.
I didn't even know this.
Oh.
I thought it was just a front camera and a rear view camera. It might not be 7. It might be 1.
Yeah, it's just more than 2.
Yeah, it spins around. But it shows the whole view of the car. Wow. I can see everything that's around. And this is not even this year's model. This is older. So
wait, what year?
I'm sure the 2019.
What year do you have?
Something else. 2018.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the. Yeah.
But I think it's technically like 2017. Okay. Because they always, right.
Yeah, the year before.
It's just.
But that's. But again, somebody's running that. Somebody put that together. Right. Somebody put that specifically together to drive you crazy and to keep you safe at the same time. But that's true though, man. Like and
the other thing I want to add too, just again, so that's supposed to lower your insurance rate. So because every time you get a car, you give them the VIN number and they can tell what kind of make and model it is. So if you have a car that's safe, making air quotations, then the insurance company will lower your rate because they can say, oh, that's the such and such model. Oh, that was one of the best safely made cars. So, see, that's the thing. Other thing, so I want to point that out.
Go ahead. Yeah, because
it goes beyond the developer, but it also goes to the product that's made, and it also benefits the consumer and the consumer's other bills and
Yeah,
avenues.
that's interesting.
So I'm
It's a
yeah,
it has a far reach.
yeah. I can't think of the word, but yeah.
No, no,
We'll
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I could, yeah, it's a
But
better
it
word,
just piggybacks off one another.
man, that's interesting.
So just imagine, I don't know, something crazy like you got the I'm sure in the future it'll be houses that
Right.
is so
Oh man. Oh
advanced
yeah.
the technology
Yeah.
it could pick up a tornado or a hailstorm, right? Like
Right.
it'll when it's
Disaster.
hailing, it'll throw on its
Yeah,
Captain
right,
America shield, right?
right.
So it's like, okay, if you got the house with the
Tony Stark.
transforming
You got the Tony
yeah,
Stark
with
house.
the Iron Man,
Yeah, the Iron Man
Tony
house.
Stark
Yeah,
roof,
yeah. It's Tony. Right.
your insurance premium
It's
is
a
gonna
suit
be
of armor
lower.
around the world. Yeah.
So it's just
That's you know what, but that might be the future though. That's interesting though, because if every house could like basically be disaster proof,
right, exactly.
then that changes the game.
Exactly.
Because then it's like, wait a minute, like you said, it benefits everybody involved, and everybody's like, whoa, I live here, and it affects my bills, and I only have to do this one time, and like, you know what I mean, like, so it, like you said, it's a domino effect, and then one thing affects another, and it kind of creates this beneficial scenario for everybody, you know. But yeah, man, that's fascinating.
Insurance companies saying, "Oh, we wouldn't have to pay out as many claims as
Yeah.
we did," because
Yeah.
they're instantly going to go back to prior years. Like,
Right.
oh, last year in
Right.
Missouri, we paid 2.3 million in claims.
Gotcha.
Now that houses are designed this way,
Yeah.
we only paying 230,000.
Wow.
And then hopefully, you hope it doesn't come to a point because as you see working in the insurance industry, some companies require that you have a certain product of a certain standard.
Well, that's true.
So
Yeah,
and
man.
that just spins to a whole nother conversation because now
yeah.
you're back to economics and you're saying, okay, but what if that product costs more? Now you're creating that whole disparity
Right.
in the class of people
That
because everybody
that's
can't
afford it.
the
I was
better
just gonna
product.
say, like, and that's like, well, that's a good point, because then it's like, well, how does it affect the pricing and the cost and the supply and the demand and all that? Because then you're thinking, like you said, said it perfectly. It's like, who can afford this?
Yeah.
How expensive is it going to be to make, and therefore, how much do you have to charge as a result of how much you had to spend to make it?
Right.
And so, because you want a profit. Everybody wants a profit. So, like you said, like that's definitely for people to figure out that are smarter than me. But
Profit, not people.
yeah, well, you know,
Talking about
yeah, man, yeah, you know, we work, you
the
know,
opposite way.
yeah, right. You know, corporate's all about profit over people, but yeah, man, that's interesting. That is really. I don't know, man. You got my mind going a lot of different ways. I could tell you even research.
Yeah.
I could tell you even reading a lot. Like,
you know me, man.
yeah. You've been putting in the work and the time to figure all this out, man. I didn't even know.
Just us, just doing the research.
Are you still leaning towards? Is that still your number one, like the IT?
Going to the
School?
tech space? I think so, man.
Yeah.
I think so. It's like I
In light of
made
this
the joke
conversation.
with you earlier, like I'm part of this free agency. Crazy, it's Durant, Kyrie. And me.
Yeah, say what you said.
Kawhi, like,
Say what you text me though. So you texted me. Say what you text. That was hilarious.
Let me see. I said.
That was good. It was like reverse free agency.
I had to find it. Right? Yeah. You said
That joy had me cracking up.
I
I was like, that's true. That's how it works.
like where is it?
Let me see. I think.
And I don't think I sent that this morning. I think that was yesterday morning.
Nah, I think it was this morning. Hold on. Let me see. Because you said I was dying. It was something to the effect of like, I can't find it. But it was something to the effect of like, I feel like the opposite of a free agent, because
Yeah,
I forget how you said it.
Just
Like,
I say I'm for
deciding
this
how
free
much.
agency craze, except I'm giving up all the money. I'm giving them
That's
all
what it
the
was.
money.
I'm giving them money.
Trying to decide on what school to go to.
There you go. Yeah.
So
I'm giving them all the money.
it's
Yeah,
just,
that was hilarious.
I'm giving up the
I
money.
was crack. That's perfect. Like
Man, so,
that was perfect.
Yeah,
That's real though, man. Like we trying to figure out how you gonna fork your money up, man.
Right.
You know, who you gonna who you gonna pay?
So I'm pretty dead set on that. I mean, again, it's just kind of one of those things where like I say, I don't want to make age the problem, but it's just like I'm in my 30s. I want to begin to. I've had so much back and forth with jobs and being marketable. In this corporate world, it's like I just want to get on something to get me into working and enjoying life. But as I look into things such as other professions like physical therapy, all of that. I say if I was 18 again, I probably would have considered that. But again, that's another stereotype with me because a lot of people suggest that to me because they feel like I'm fit or I'm in shape to them. So they're like, oh yeah,
why don't you go do that?
What they always say, I can see you.
Yeah, I can see you.
It's what you see.
It's what you see.
Right.
Right. Nah, but you know what, man? I was gonna say, like, whether it's physical therapy or whatever, like in light of our conversation, it kind of makes me think if you take any of those ideas through the ringer, so to speak, and say of what we were talking about, like, okay, ask yourself the same questions we were asking in this conversation and apply it to all those fields and see if it washes out. In terms of like, what jobs won't be here, what jobs will still be here. Like it's kind of like taking it through that whole filtering system and saying what came out at the end and what will still be here. And I know you mentioned like four or five other things, but I mean this what we're talking about now kind of like it's a good compass to use almost to kind of help weed out things.
With that being said, I'm telling you, man, tech is the new crack. It's just because I was just thinking about tech and how it's affected lawyers.
Okay.
And, LegalZoom.
Right. Oh yeah. I've heard about
that's been around for a while,
yeah.
right? It was a time where you would have to pay a lawyer to do your will, to do your patent. But now you go on LegalZoom, you talk to customer service representatives. Give them all your info, and they, I guess, have their lawyers that they pay that work almost like underwriters, and they spit back out the final product.
Right.
So, what if that gets even more, intense, and so. I mean, I think Amazon. I think I told you this before. Amazon was creating Amazon Agent, where it's almost like they're cutting out the real estate agent to where like you just go to Amazon to sell your house. So there's no more, paying a real estate agent 3-4% commission off the sale. Just put it on Amazon.
Wow.
If somebody like it, they buy it. I got a friend, she bought land. She lives in Texas. She bought land in Colorado, never seen it. Bought 40 acres for $30,000.
Whoa.
Never even been to it.
Wow.
She just seen pictures of it.
Wow.
She has yet to go see it.
That's
like,
that's crazy, man. So, like, man, see now you got my mind going. We could talk all night, but you got my mind going in so many different directions because to say the least, it does make you think. But I don't know, man. Like it's so much to this, and it's like there's so many different ways you can go with it. But I think you're right about the tech, man. It's a lot there. It's a lot there. I don't even know what to say. It's a lot there.
No, yeah. If you just get beyond, I think what I've been confronted with a lot of times with people when I tell them about it, they don't get past the image again, the look, what they see.
Right.
Man, business has, I used to have this saying, battle rap taught me a lot about business. Or I would say rap taught me a lot about business.
Right.
But business, the study of business can teach you a lot about life.
Mm-hmm.
You know this being somebody who's read a fair amount of business books.
Right.
But when you look at it, like even Dave Ramsey kind of touches on it from an angle, but when you look at the moves you make almost from a business perspective, and like, you know, it's either you do it for the love or you do it for the thought.
Yeah.
It's certain things you go into with your mind, certain things you go into with your heart.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm being honest.
That's good.
I'm approaching me finishing school from a business perspective. Like I told you.
Right.
What is going to be my projected ROI?
Yeah.
You know,
right. What's my return?
You know, I understand people say for the love, but love don't always pay off.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
You know,
I actually read a book, and speaking of books, I read this book, and in one of the chapters of the book, it was the chapter was called "Passion is BS."
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of to your point about how like following your passion can be overrated, because I'm trying to summarize it, but basically what he was saying was that a lot of times you try to chase your dreams and whatnot, and if it don't work out, it don't work out. But like, it's kind of like to what you're saying, like you kind of get passionate about things that you're good at or that make sense to do, like, and that are working. Yeah. That your passion more so comes from things that are working. If something is working for you, in turn, you get passionate about it. Okay. And in actuality, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, oh, because you like the result of seeing something work. So you get it's like a feedback loop.
You crave it.
You crave it because like, no, this is working. You desire it because it's producing something. And a lot of times we're taught like the passion things, like follow your passion, follow your dreams, and that could be so like abstract. But like he said, that's why it's BS, because sometimes you do things that just work out or that are working or that make sense, and it's giving you that ROI that you're looking for, like you just said. You're doing those things, and then you're developing passion as a result of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As a result, it's like, I like seeing results. I like seeing that this is working. I'm getting passionate. You know what I'm saying? So it's to your point.
Would be a great analogy.
You said what now?
Fitness.
Oh, fitness. Yeah.
Losing weight.
Yeah.
People don't lose weight; they get discouraged.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, but you get addicted. It's like when they say about that runner's high. Yeah. When people who run, they say they catch the runner's high. It's like you get addicted to that feeling. I don't know if it's endorphins or dopamine or it's that natural chemical in your body. It's like, ooh, that felt good. Yeah. When can I go back out? Yeah. It's like a good addiction, because that quote unquote addiction is making you healthy. Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Let me wrap this up. It's getting a little later. But,
this was cool.
Man.
Gotta do this again.
Definitely, man. This was productive. This was definitely a good convo.
I know it was some things we had talked about touching on that
we didn't even get to.
Yeah, because we was diving into this.
Oh man, that's how we do it though, man. We talk about tech for an hour and talk about social media for another hour and then sports for another hour and then entertainment music for another. You know what I mean? Like it's just we be here all night. But if you're still listening, appreciate you taking the time out, and hopefully I'll see y'all back next time.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.